How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. And once upon a time, baseball games and sports games in general didn't let you create teams. You were stuck with what was there when you turned on the game. There was no create a player mode. There weren't a whole lot of features. You could barely play a full season. I mean, Tecmo Bowl lets you play a full season, but it wasn't a full it wasn't a full slate of NFL teams. And honestly, it was just beat everybody else and then play the Super Bowl. That was the season. Well, in 1989, SNK changed all that with the release of not only their first sports title on the NES at least, but one of the most ambitious sports titles ever released on a console. Today, we're going to take a look at Baseball Stars. Now, Baseball Stars, you select one of several teams, or you create your own team. When you create your own team, you get 18 players and $30,000 to start off things. And you can set a general attribute for your team, or what your team's strength is, whether it's being balanced, defense, batting, whatever. From there, the game generates your team and you go about your season. You can sign free, you get money by winning games. The more games you win, the more monies you get, and you can sign free agents from there. When you sign free agents, you have to let one of your players go. So there's some balance there. There's some parity. That gives you some parity. There's also a great baseball game at its core here, gameplay wise. The fielding is solid, the batting, everything is pretty good in this game. Even someone who doesn't really like baseball, like myself, thoroughly enjoys a good round of Baseball Stars. It's also interesting that this was the first battery backed up sports game on the NES. So you didn't have to worry about a password system like Tecmo Bowl. You were able to save your games as the season wore on. That saved your roster, your stats, all that stuff. This game was also interesting because there's an all-women's team in the game. I don't remember if they're a particularly good team, but there is an all-women's team in this game. There's a team called the American Dreams, where all the players are kinda sorta named after a bunch of legendary baseball players, former baseball players like Pete Rose, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth. So yeah, there's some cool little things going on here. But this is a pretty solid game, all in all. And easily one of the more beloved sports titles on the NES. A system that had a lot of beloved sports titles. Now, if you want a copy of Baseball Stars, they used to be kind of pricey. Used to be like $25-30 for a loose cart. Now you can get one for about $12. So I don't know what that's about, but the same thing happened with a boxing game called Ring King some years back. Once upon a time, Ring King was like a $25, $30 game. Then the price just dropped. So who's to wonder why? I don't know. I will say this though. The sequel, Baseball Stars 2, lacks some of the features in the original game, so it's the sequel's cool, but it's not as good as the original. It's lacking some stuff. So be wary and be warned that you're not going to get a better package necessarily by picking up the sequel instead of the original. This has been the 8-Bit Animal. I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah, you're a good cop and all, but something tells me that coat isn't proper protocol.